Hi, I'm Sean Vanderveer.
And I'm Clay Martin.
And we had a conversation a couple weeks ago, and we decided that we both enjoy sports. I love making productions. He kind of wanted to start a show, and we said, hey, let's just try this and see where it goes. This week, we're not really going to be bringing stats or any kind of that information. The season's just beginning, but we just wanted to talk a little bit about our love for sports, how we enjoy it, and what this show is all about, and what you can expect in the next couple of weeks.
Definitely.
So, Clay, what do you like about sports and why?
Man, I just love sports. I've played it all through high school. I played, since 6th grade till I graduated, football and pretty much every sport. I love just super competitive, just the nature of sports and just how competitive and how entertaining everything is.
Okay. And why do you like sports talk shows? Like, do you listen to them, you watch them, things like that?
I do. Almost every opportunity I'm in the car. There's, the occasional I listen to music every now and again, but pretty much every time I'm in the car, I flip it to ESPN Radio or 105.3 The Fan to listen, just to get I've always loved talk shows and just to add in sports, just to get the facts and, to kind of actually know what you're watching when you're watching it. It just intrigues me to kind of get the facts and know who I'm watching and know what I'm watching and kind of the behind-the-scenes stories that they always talk about on the sports channels.
Very cool. All right, I played high school football, very brief time actually. I blew out my left knee, tore an ACL, and had to get that fixed, and I ran track, ran some cross country too, so I've always enjoyed sports. I like football because of the preparation that it takes, the mental mindset that is required in the game, and the fact, I don't necessarily agree with them extending the season a whole lot, but that just makes it that much more intriguing and that much more competitive, if you will. And I love seeing the behind-the-scenes stuff and how these guys, like I said, have to prepare, and from week to week, how quickly they have to shift their mindset, maybe from one defensive scheme or one offensive scheme to another to face an opponent. One thing I want to let you know is if you see my hand reaching over here, if you see me looking, I'm actually mixing us tonight between the cameras, and so you're going to see me every once in a while glance over, so just ignore that. It's no big deal. Now, what is your favorite team?
It's hard. I do like the Cowboys. I love football. That's, I think, my favorite sport. So I'd have to say the Cowboys, but the Rangers, as well as the Mavericks, do hold a special place in my heart. Always throughout each season.
So the Dallas teams mainly.
Yeah.
But you like the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I've got to admit, I'm not the biggest Cowboys fan. I'm sure this is going to bring the ire of anybody that watches this. I'm not a Washington Redskins fan, so we don't have to worry about that. No fighting there, but yeah. I'm going to probably bring like a devil's advocate view or a testy side to the Cowboys this year.
Definitely.
I keep hearing they're going to be, a 500 team this year. They may not make it over the hump of losing half their games, which a lot of people are like, well, they're going to win half their games. But I'm like, you know what? They're still dumping a ton of money in them. One thing that I've always struggled with the Cowboys is from the very top, Mr. Jerry Jones. I've seen him out in public, and I've just watched him on TV, and he just seems like kind of a control freak to me. But it's like he wants to be the coach, but he's not brave enough to call himself the coach. That way he can still fire somebody, because I guess he can't fire himself. And once again, probably going to get some ire from this, but I'm not the biggest Tony Romo fan. I don't think he's completely proven himself yet. He's got some proving to do. He's just got a new contract from what I hear. And he better step it up this year, or there's going to be some answering to do.
Definitely. I definitely agree with you on Jerry Jones. I've never really been fond of Jerry either. I've heard lots of stories. He has trouble kind of keeping his mouth shut and keeping things to himself about the team. But as far as Tony Romo, I think I would definitely say I am a Tony Romo fan. I think he does need to kind of step up this season and kind of prove that he can be a leader, prove that he can actually complete games and win the season. As far as completing and getting over the hump, I think they definitely have a good chance, a better chance than last year if they can stay healthy. And I think that's the main thing, is them keeping guys on the field and not getting hurt. But the chances of having as bad luck as they did last year are
slim to none.
Significantly slim, more slim than they were last season for sure.
So since you're a Tony Romo fan, you want to pull a Tony Romo and make a prediction? Super Bowl like he used to do?
Yeah.
He just needs
I don't
to
know.
stop that preseason
I mean, I
prediction.
definitely think they can take it all the way and at least get a couple games into the playoffs. If not make it to the Super Bowl, it just depends on, like I said, if they stay healthy and if they can pull together as a team and get the correct leadership they need throughout the team. They definitely have pieces, throughout, with DeMarcus Ware and Witten, and just pieces laid out throughout of elite players. And so if they can keep the pieces they need healthy and keep those players as leaders, then I think definitely they have a good shot of at least making it pretty far in the playoffs.
All right. Now, what do you think about, or what do you think goes on in the locker room? Another team recently had a little snafu, if you will, of a guy making some comments at a concert, and he made a racial slur, and, you know, it's just wrong that he did it. But I've kind of been impressed at how some of the players have looked beyond that. And they said, you know what, he screwed up, but he's still on our team. And they've kind of embraced him back. Do you think that everybody gets along pretty good in the Cowboys locker room?
I think so. I would say that.
Or at least while they're winning?
Yeah, definitely. I would say so. I mean, I haven't heard a lot of reports of you know, discontent in the locker room or anything like that. But I do definitely think that they have a good family structure most of the time. And they are very good friends from what I can tell. Des Bryant and Tony Romo, from what I hear, are pretty close most of the time, and obviously Jason Witten and Romo are pretty good friends on and off the field. And so I would say, as a whole in the locker room, they have a pretty good structure of team and family, and not much quarrels.
All right, so any other pro teams you think we should watch this year?
I definitely think, as always, the Giants, they're going to be a definite good competition for the Cowboys. I haven't really kept up with very many.
What about Tom Brady?
Tom Brady, he's always good.
He's like a thorn in everybody's
side. He's always going to be good no matter what. Obviously, the controversies associated with the Patriots this season, Tebow going there, that's going to be definitely fun to watch to see what he does. They're always a threat no matter what. I think they're going to be a fun team to kind of pay attention to as well.
But do you think that New England can run Tebow's system that he likes to run? I feel like he's kind of a one-system guy. And if any pro team could ever embrace his style, man, you talk about just multiple targets and just a hard thing for a defense to read and to react to. It's going to keep them pretty busy if they can ever pull it off.
Definitely. I definitely think that they have the tools and people needed to kind of adjust to his system, as well as coach him into new systems and kind of incorporate a new way of thinking also with his way of thinking, and kind of push him forward to be a better player, even better than he is now.
All right, so maybe having an open door that he hadn't had yet in the pros.
Definitely.
Cool. All right. What about college? Anybody you think that we should be watching this year?
Unfortunately, I don't keep up with college much.
Right.
LSU is always, I've heard kind of a few reports about LSU, and obviously
Alabama's number
Alabama
one again.
And A&M with Johnny Football and Johnny Manziel. He's as
Hold
many.
on. Let's talk about Johnny Football. Have you heard these reports about his little agent friend?
I have. I've heard a few stories. As far as whether they're true, obviously I can't say. I think they're a little crazy and a little bit far-fetched. And if he did, he did. I've kind of heard reports that the NCAA aren't necessarily going to pursue it because they don't want to, as far as a financial decision.
And not only that, they're
like
saying that because this guy and Johnny Football knew each other before he ever entered college, that guy can act as an agent and get away with it. And from what I understand, if Johnny Football does something, the agent gets paid and shares it with him. And so it's kind of like, almost like they found a loophole. And it'd be interesting to see if the NCAA closes that loophole after this year.
And I definitely don't think they will, as far as just because of the way the last year's Alabama game went. I think they'll definitely keep him in play for those type games, because he just brings in too much attention and too much money to the NCAA.
I think money is a big
more
key
than
there.
More than they want to shut him down. I think he brings too much money in.
What about the bowl games? Are you a fan, not a fan? Rather see a playoff system?
I think they definitely need a new playoff system. I think that's one of the main reasons I don't keep up with college, is their system's way too crazy. But I do, like I said, I'll watch anything. If it's on, I'll watch it. So, but I think that the bowl games are fun, and they'll be definitely fun to tune into, especially no matter who's playing.
All right. What about switching gears? A-Rod.
A-Rod. It actually, it kind of baffled me that he's still playing. I didn't realize that while you're contesting the rules, you can still play. So I kept hearing reports like he's hitting more home runs. I'm like, how is he still on the field? But I think he at least definitely needs to probably have some sort of suspension for the PEDs and something like that. As far as lifetime, I don't know. I'm kind of a forgiveness kind of guy, so maybe not a lifetime, but a definite a time of suspension that's gonna keep him, maybe sit back and make him realize, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this in a more long-term scale.
Let me throw a monkey wrench into your theory. Pete Rose. He's banned for life.
For life.
And he gambled. Still a bad thing to do, wrong thing to do. But apparently, the reports from the MLB head offices, or the theory right now, until they reveal their information, is that not only did A-Rod use performance-enhancing drugs, but he may have interfered with the investigation.
Now, I did forget about that. So interfering with the investigation, I think, is definitely a step up from just taking PEDs. And so
if they're going to ban Pete Rose, and he never interfered.
Just for gambling,
yeah. It's kind of like...
definitely. So that may kind of invoke a lifetime sentence there. But
and then again,
I
if
guess
they
we'll just
kick
have
him
to
out
see.
through like next season, that's pretty much lifetime because he's getting up there in age.
He's
so.
getting old. So
I keep hearing these reports about he's putting on this front of being a good old boy in the locker room, but nobody really seems to like him, which is interesting to me. How are you going to be this great figure, arguably one of the best, if not the best player, maybe ever? But we got to keep in mind he's using drugs to get there. But okay, let's say like he hadn't used PEDs, so he's clean and he has this amazing career, but yet they still say in the locker room they don't give him attention, they don't give him the respect that he should probably get, which is interesting. So.
I mean, I think that maybe comes along with personality traits and things like that. If he doesn't handle himself well and is kind of cocky and doesn't handle his success well with the other players, I think that's definitely a downfall of A-Rod, and he, in a sense, kind of brings it on himself. And it's not necessarily his, or it is his fault that people aren't as fond of him as they could be.
So some of his actions may lead to his either his fans being fans or people just not liking him at all.
Definitely. And
it's almost like there's no gray area with A-Rod. You either like him or you
really
hate him.
Yeah.
So there's like no, oh, he's okay.
Yeah.
You don't hear that, you know. So, all right. What about any local teams? You know anything going on?
Local teams.
Sherman Denison, who's going to win it this year?
I don't know. That's tough.
Let me give you a hint. Sherman was ranked number 2 in their district, I think.
I would say definitely Sherman. It's always fun to watch those games. My brother graduated from Denison, and my stepbrothers go to Sherman, and so it's definitely tough on who's going to win. As far as talent-wise, I definitely think probably Sherman. Or probably we haven't seen anybody play yet, but I think Sherman definitely has the better talent as far as last season goes, and so I guess we'll just have to see.
They've got a lot of returning people this year, I know. And
I don't think Denison had that many.
Yeah, and it seems like there's a cycle. Sherman has, I don't know, 3 to 5 good years, and then Denison comes in and destroys them, and then Sherman goes back and beats up. Although we are going to go ahead and remind people, if they don't know, that the Battle of the Axe is very heavily favored towards Sherman on the history. So one other thing that I want to bring up before we end is, what do you want to hear us talk about? This isn't just a talk show between us, you know, 2 guys are sitting here talking and blabbing. We want to know about what you want to hear about, what you want to talk about. We'd love to have your emails. We'll put a Twitter account, maybe we can set one up or something. We're struggling with the name, so we might need help on that too. Right now it's the Unnamed Sports Show. Literally unnamed because we don't have one. But we want to know, and we may even video one of these live and have a chat room that we can interact with people and have people chatting. We do have a TV sitting right here so we can see what's going on. We could have a chat room going right there, and you could ask questions and we could blab about it and say, hey, Tim, thanks for messaging us on the chat board or whatever. So it's kind of a high-tech way of calling in, I guess, or whatever. And maybe we could have a telephone line somehow. I'd have to get a telephone line. I don't have one. Cell phone.
Cell phone, yeah.
Hey, we'll give out Clay's cell phone number. Anything else you think of?
No. Not that it comes off right offhand. No, just random fun fact. Anybody is following that? The Texas Rangers did release Manny Ramirez today from minor leagues. What else? I kind of skimmed the news feeds. Oh, the Cowboys are building a new facility in Frisco. I saw reports on that. They're getting a new, not a stadium, but as far as like a workout
facility.
It's going to be connected
so they've suckered another community.
Yeah, right. But apparently it was overwhelming
support.
Yeah, support and things like that. And they're going to, I think the completion build date is somewhere between like 2017, 2018, and it's going to be incorporated with the schools, and it's kind of more or less an open facility plus practice facility for the Cowboys instead of in Irving where they are now.
I'm surprised Allen didn't get them. Have you seen that stadium? Pictures of that stadium? Man, it's like the megaplex of football stadiums for high school. It's just, I haven't been to it yet. I want to go, but it is monstrous.
It sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah. All right, predictions real fast. NFL, Super Bowl champ. Oh, just say it. You want to say it.
I'd like to say the Cowboys. That would be awesome if they would win it, but I don't know. I guess I just have to watch everybody play. I haven't necessarily kept track of anybody but the Cowboys this season, so I just have to watch. And
New Orleans is going to be good to watch this year with them having their coach back.
Definitely,
That's he is kind of the
Sean Payton back is a good thing for them.
Yeah, it
for
is.
Sure.
Got that suspension over with, and I bet he doesn't do that again though.
Probably not. Definitely.
Oh, excuse me, I just hiccuped. Yeah, you never know what you're going to see on this. Rangers think they're going to make it.
They have definitely a good chance.
Even though they lost a player.
Yeah, John Daniels has definitely put a good lineup with Alex Rios and bringing in Garza for pitching and stuff like that. So they've kind of filled the holes they lost. As far as more, in a sense, bad news for the Rangers, Matt Harrison and Colby Lewis won't be returning for the rest of this season at least. With Matt's back injury and I think Colby's having like hip surgery now as opposed to his arm, and so. They won't be back. I think that news dropped this afternoon or sometime today, and so we'll just have to see what they can do. They definitely have a good chance there. I think they're on the top of the standings now. I'd have to look, but they definitely have a good chance if they can keep doing good things and keep doing what they're doing. Yeah.
Have you been to the new Cowboy Stadium?
I have.
I have not been in it.
It's fun.
I went to a Rangers game and we went over there just to check it out, and it's just like.
Yeah, it's huge.
Keeps going.
I've actually watched one Cowboys game and I think 2 Arkansas Razorback games. One of my best friends just graduated from Arkansas, and so I've been to a couple of those college games, and it's either situation. It's just fun and huge and loud and
everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah, definitely.
Including the HD screen inside.
Excuse me, yeah.
And the Rangers, it's always fun to go to the ballpark. Maybe we'll have to go and see some games this year and report back that way, and
definitely
video report from there if we can get away with it.
That'd be
hey
cool.
guys, we're in the stadium. We can't get caught.
Yeah, that'd be fun for sure. I've only been to one game this season. It was early season, but it was Ranger games are always lots of fun.
They're fun, unless you get like a 3-hour rain delay like I did on my last game.
Definitely. Or today. I think there's a rain delay today too.
Yep. Well, I am Sean Vanderveer.
And I'm Clay Martin.
And this is the Unnamed Sports Show.